What's up, you guys? It's Matt Springer, Coach Matt Springer again, and we're going to cover how to warm up for the squat, or actually more or less what I like to do to warm up for the squat. And when you're piecing together your warm up, there's almost an infinite selection of mobility drills, soft tissue drills, and even activation drills that you can do, that it almost gets lost how much and what specifically you need to do. And I've seen people's warm-ups take, they get into the 30 to 45 minute range because they only add on every new thing. And it's all great work. It's just how do you condense it and consolidate your time to get the most out of those mobility drills. And generally I like to see, in terms of how do you structure a warm-up, you do a soft tissue drill, you do a joint mobility drill, and then you finish with an activation drill. And you just pick one out of each of those three categories: the soft tissue, the joint mobility, and the activation. You pick one out of each of those critical things. If you're squatting, the day will be filled with lower body items to address those three topics. If you're doing upper body work, then it'd be shoulder based of those three. But you only need one drill per each. And if you experiment enough, you're gonna know what drills are most effective for you. And for me, the drills that I find most effective, I almost always start with a mobility stick. And believe it or not, for a lot of folks, this part with how CrossFitters tend to squat on the outside of your shin is really gristly and is really tough, and you're probably gonna get a sensation of maybe 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 on a pain scale when you put even light pressure of a mobility stick across that area. It tends to happen when people think to squat knees out. This group of tissue gets really, really tied up. So when I'm opening up my squatting, what's the soft tissue drill that I know works best for me? I'm not gonna do rolling of my entire leg. I'm just gonna pick this one area and attack it for about 90 seconds, maybe 2 minutes. And I'm gonna look for a pain scale roughly from the pressure that I'm putting on it. 6, 7, 8 is sufficient. And then after I get done doing the mobility stick, I always, and this is like my anti-knee sleeve drill, is I do what's called knee gapping. And you put the ball directly, a lacrosse ball, directly behind your knee. You shove it straight up against your skin if you can see, and then you'll just bring your heel to your butt. And it doesn't seem like I'm doing very much, but if you cycle about 20 of these and maybe move the ball around to the outside or more the inside, but this alone, if I had to do one drill, would be the soft tissue drill that I end up doing. So again, soft tissue, mobility stick, lacrosse ball, knee gapping. And then for the joint mobility in the warm-up sandwich that we're creating would be in banded ankle distraction. And if you can get a zoom on where I'm specifically putting this band, it's very important that you see this. The big bony part of your ankle, you're gonna put the band below it. Don't get confused with putting the band high on the ankle. It goes below the bony part. You don't need a tremendous amount of pressure. Once the band gets taut, you'll step down on the rear side of the band so that you're almost creating a 45-degree angle of pull, and you oscillate in and out of this drill for a grand total of 20 or so cycles, about 90 seconds worth. And those two items alone, the soft tissue work, the joint mobility work, are gonna take a grand total of 3 minutes. And then the next drill that I would use is an activation drill. And for me right now, my go-to is a Thera-Band lateral walk, where I'll take a really light jump stretch band, put it across the top of my knee, go into quarter squat, and walk laterally for about 100 feet total from right to left, going back and forth in maybe 20-foot increments. But yeah, those three drills right there. Again, the mobility is the soft tissue work, going into joint mobility, going into an activation drill. Those three things alone will put you into probably one of the best squat positions that you've had in a long time. And you can whip through it all in less than 5 to 8 minutes. And it certainly condenses down that long warm-up and gives you guys clear direction on some things that you can do. Hope that helps. If you have questions, please leave them in the comments.